Welcome back to what Arty Noobs for Channel Disturbance. This is a Lorraine 15550. It's the Tier 7 French SPG, and this one's located on the south spawn of El Halluf under the command of Gucci72. Well, as with most French Arty, in fact all French Arty over Tier 6, they've got a 155mm gun. All that varies is actually the amount of damage that each gun can do, and this one is capable of doing at least 700 alpha. There you go. Game started. Now, as you can see here, reload is showing us 24.08 seconds, but in actual fact, without any of the mods, or not the mods, rather, without the crew and the rammer, it would actually be closer to 30 seconds. So you can see Gucci's managed to reduce it quite a lot. And you can also see that this tank, this Arty, is actually based on the chassis or the hull of the Lorraine 40-ton tank. And the reason it never got put into production, well, that was because the Lorraine 40-ton didn't get put into production. Well, he's aiming at that rock because there was a Panther just behind it a short second ago, and he's fired at it hoping that the Panther's still there, and we didn't get any result. But he's reloading. There's two tanks down in the valley, a Lorraine 40-ton, and there's the Panther. Oh, he's missing some hit points. So he probably was hit. He may have actually damaged that Panther. We might see that in the end of battle results. And the Panther's going out there onto that lookout to see if he can spot across the valley and shoot anyone. We do have a couple of tanks in the valley, and EBRs, Hotchkiss, in fact 2 EBR Hotchkisses. So that might be what he's trying to shoot at. But Gucci's now realigning his aim at the northwest corner of the map, and he's got in his sights an Object 252U, which is a defender in plainclothes. And he's just waiting for the reload to complete. It has. Okay, now rounds out. Looks good. And a direct hit. Unfortunately, it was a blind shot, so we don't know how much damage. Oh, we can see how much damage he did now. He actually did close to 240 hit points. Well, exactly 240 hit points with that shot. So it wasn't a penetration, but it certainly did shake that 252U up. We've also got a Lance and C coming around the corner. That's got fairly weak armor. Doesn't react very well with HE. He's lining the shot up, he's loaded, rounds out, this looks good, it's very good! 163 hit points again. It's not a penetration, but it certainly stunned the Lanson and the 252U together. Unfortunately, we did lose our T-44 in that exchange, but the enemy also lost their Lanson. Okay, we're loaded and going for an ISU-152, Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer, and a direct hit on his rear for 338, so that's a very valuable shot. He's racking up the damage. He could probably take out that 252U, but he doesn't need to worry because it has been killed. So there's plenty of enemy tanks making their way into that corner, and they're all getting struck by shells. Got two tanks together there, going for the T-29. Line up the shot. Rounds out, looks good. Direct hit on the Leo, wipes him out. 323 hit points. Now, I don't know if he's looked at the map, but I think that Gucci might need to relocate because there's nobody down in the valley now, and it's only him and the M12 at the back of the map. And there's two EBR Hotchkisses on the enemy team that might be headed this way. He's still firing into that corner, and he gets 6 hit points of splash off the IS-2 and stuns the T-29 as well. Yep, he's going to have to move. There's no way he can stay where he is at the moment without the enemy getting him. The Hotchkiss on our team managed to get a kill on the Panther, but here comes the enemy Hotchkiss. He's right in front of Gucci right now. There he is. He's just taken out the M12. And if Gucci fires, that Hotchkiss is going to know it, and he'll be over here to try and kill. So I think it's prepare to repel all boarders. Except, of course, that Hotchkiss is running away because our EBR's after him. And the enemy's just lost their Lorraine 40-ton. We can't really help our own EBR unless, of course, we're going to take the risk of being spotted and attacked by the enemy Arty. Oh, look at them. They're duking it out together. Gucci can't get involved unless he wants to risk getting fired upon. And the EBR on the enemy team killed ours, so now he might be heading this way to try and find Gucci. But he's very low on health, that EBR, and that means that he will be very susceptible to a splash hit from Gucci's gun. But it means that Gucci can't fire until he sees that enemy because he's got such a long reload. Just waiting for the enemy to appear. He must know where Gucci is. He must be asking his teammates, where did you get hit from? Well, Gucci's decided to ignore the EBR and go back to firing at the enemy. He's taking a considered risk because the enemy might appear at any moment, but he's deciding to go ahead. Fires around at the IS-2. Gets a good hit, 164 hit points a splash, and the enemy EBR has decided to join the fray in the northwest corner, which is also good because it means now that Gucci can devote himself to attacking that corner. And I think that EBR is about to get a nasty surprise. Yeah, he's turned up behind the IS and the IS promptly finished him. So our threat has disappeared. Now we can focus our game on the enemy. There is 4 on both sides. Okay, can't easily get a shot on that T69. Oh, we just lost our Leo to him. Lining up a shot. Now we can get a shot on him. And we do. 207 of splash. We need to get every shell we can into that area. Gucci does have 1 round of premium HE and 18 of standard. Unfortunately, he can't get a better angle on that IS-2 at the moment, and he can't see the T69 because there's nobody spotting it. And there's the T69. He's come around the corner. We need to get a shot in there quick. And no, the T69 was wiped out by the IS again. He's got another kill. Now we're trying to shoot the IS. We can't. He's in. The IS-2 is in the defilade, but he's coming around this corner. Oh, we fire around in, and yes, well, he splashes him for 58 hit points. I think he realizes now he's at the disadvantage. It's only him against 2 enemy tanks. And it's 3 versus 3, but we have the advantage now. There's 2 Arty on the enemy team, an M12 and a Lorraine 15550. Now, I wouldn't expect one of them to turn up very shortly. We're almost loaded. Going for the IS-2. Rounds out. This should be a hit. It is, and it's a kill shot. And that's going to change the game. Because now they've lost their heavy tank. And that means the 110 and Gucci can both go to the enemy cap area. In fact, actually, it's not the enemy cap area. This is an encounter game. And they can start capping and force the enemy to come down to the cap. As it's encounter, it does take twice as long to cap out. Somebody was saying that the 110 needs to load up with AP when he gets back to the garage. Apparently the 110 wasn't firing AP. He was firing something else. Now, I'm not sure if it was a premium round or it was HE, but somebody was suggesting he needs to change his loadout. I can understand that. I've often taken the wrong shells into a battle. I think you learn these things by experience. Okay, now going out to the open. Well, Gucci's not going for the cap just yet. I think he needs to. I'd be very tempted to go into the dip near the waterfall because you're in the cap area, but you're not hiding behind the rock, and then the enemy will try to fire at behind the rock. Of course, they'll be getting the wrong spot. Is he going to go behind the rock? I think he is. It's a bit more difficult to fire in here, but it's a bit more obvious where you are. Yes, the waterfall's over there in the dip. And that's a good place to be, because the enemy rarely fires arty rounds into that dip area, because they don't think anybody will sit themselves there. Where they think that you'll be is behind this rock here. And there's the M12. Gucci's aiming for him. Can he get a shot up there? It's going to be a difficult shot. He's trying. He's trying. He's come out of the cap to get a shot at him. He fires a round in. Unfortunately, our 110 has actually been hit by the enemy arty. There's the M12, and the M12 is taken out by the 110. So it's just the Lorraine 15550 on the enemy team now. It all depends on where the enemy arty's located himself. I think it'd be a good idea for the 110 to come back here. And there he is. The Lorraine's moving. He's trying to get away. He's being fired on by the 110. We can wound him. We can get a shot near him. And there he is. He stopped. Perfect. Rounds out. Well, that must have winged him. He's setting up to try and ambush the 110. There he is. And he's gone. 110 got the kill, and that wins the game. Only 2 kills for Gucci. Let's have a look and see what the end of battle results are. And it's a first class tanker for Gucci 72 in the Lorraine 155 Milli 50. I was almost said Milli 51. It's actually the Milli 50. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15 in that game, and he also picked up a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by others, and yes, a very large number of enemies there indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Oh, before we look at that, let's have a look at that Panther. Did he hit him? Yes, he did. 173 hit points. That was the one we said at the start of the game. We'll have a look at the results at the end and see if did he touch him. He did touch him. Okay. And we look at the end of battle map. We can see that he did the team scores rather. We can actually see that the highest damage was actually done by the Type 59 on the enemy team. He got 2,696 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was their IS-2 with 2,425. And then came the Lorraine 40 ton on Gucci's team with 2,384. Gucci wasn't far behind. He managed to get 2,362 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, well, it was shared between the 110 and the T69 on the enemy team, 3 kills apiece. Gucci managed 2 kills along with some other teammates. And when it came to base XP, well, the 110 managed to get 1,000 and Gucci managed to get 968, and after that Type 59 came with 914. He fired 13 rounds during that game. He got 6 direct hits, 0 penetration, 14 splash. Damage of 2,362 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He hit 9 of the enemy, only killed 2, so there was a 7 difference. That's why he qualified for the Confederate. And he also did stun assistance of 509 hit points off 12 stuns. He got 26 capture points while he was sitting in the cap as well, but unfortunately it just doesn't count for anything. He didn't cap out to win, but he did get 28,025 credits on a standard account, free to play account, and after ammunition resupply took away 15,025 credits. He received 968 base XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 1,936 base experience points altogether. So pretty good battle there for a Confederate, and the good thing was that Gucci didn't fire whilst the EBR was in the locale. If he had actually fired at the enemy in the northwest corner whilst that EBR was there, I'm certain the EBR would have spotted the outgoing shell and heard it, and then he would have been straight in to kill Gucci as quickly as possible and pick up a Pascucci's. But by doing what he did and actually holding his fire, waiting for the enemy to come over that rise, he allowed the EBR to make the mistake of actually going up to the northwest corner of the map, and in doing that he enabled himself to actually help his teammates to win that game, because after all he did get that lovely kill on the IS-2, finished him off, and then gave both of their heavies a chance to win the game for them. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it's going to be one of your replays I'll be dealing in the next video. Cheers!